I wanted to follow up to the blog that I wrote about with suicide. I had somebody write in and say that they'd had a friend who had attempted suicide and they didn't know what to say. And it's just below this one if you want to take a look at it. Suicide is so complex. I didn't want to just spend one episode discussing it, and I'm sure I'll talk about it again and again. It obviously stems from depression and anxiety, and those two things kind of roll in together, at least from my experience. But depression and suicide are really self-centered. They make you self-centered. All you can think about is how terrible you feel. And when you get into that place where you feel like you don't want to be here anymore, it's part of that. So hard. The biggest thing, if you have a friend who is talking about suicide, don't blow them off. Even if you're like, oh, they just want attention, don't blow them off. Tell someone what they said. Tell their parents, tell your parents, tell a counselor, tell a teacher, tell your other friends. Like, it is time for people to step in and help that person, no matter what. If they're doing it because they want attention, freaking give them attention. Like, obviously they need some attention. Give them the attention they need. Or tell their parents and let their parents give them the attention they need. If you are thinking about suicide, you have to ask for help. And I think the problems a lot of times with that is you just don't have the words anymore because you're so wound into yourself that you don't know what to say, to ask for help. So I'm miserable. I need help. Mom, I'm sad all the time. Dad, I'm sad all the time. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to school. I don't want to do anything. I need help. I need to talk to someone. If you don't feel comfortable doing that with your parents, do it with your school counselor, do it with your pastor, your rabbi, with someone. If you were one of my students, I would say, come and talk to me and tell me, and if you don't know what to say, just sit down in my office until I start asking questions. And that's what I'll do. Anybody that's a professional, a teacher, a counselor, a pastor, a rabbi is going to start, as you start to say things like, I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, I haven't been happy in weeks, months, however long it's been, they're going to start to ask questions. And hopefully one of those questions is if you contemplated suicide, and you need to be honest. It does cross people's minds. And I think the hard thing as a young adult is it's hard to see the future. You can really only see what's behind you. And if what's behind you is hard and it feels bad, it's hard to imagine there's a future that's going to be any different. But there is. I promise there is. And getting help and talking to someone, and it's a process. You're going to work through it and you'll come out the other side. And I know that's cliche to say that the other end of the tunnel, but it's so true. There's the other side to everything. And you're not alone. This is, unfortunately, I think, a really normal thing for a lot of people, a lot of young adults, a lot of adults who don't know how to process on their own. That's what counseling is for. That's why I'm such a proponent of counseling and therapy. It's just, I think it's good living. But you got to talk, right? Even if you keep writing in here, but more than anything, I think you should let an adult know, let your parents know, older sisters, like I said, because it's time to get help. And it takes being really strong to ask for it. And you've got to be strong enough to ask for it. It gets better, I promise. It does. You're gonna have to do a little work. Okay. Other thoughts too, other experiences. What have you guys dealt with? What have you guys seen? And maybe I'll do another episode on ways to get out of your funk, if it's a funk. Right? Okay. Go. Talk to someone. Now. Go. They're just over here. Go talk to them.